The most dangerous person in any room is never the loudest one. It is the one you cannot figure out, the one who listens more than they speak, who never tells you exactly what they are thinking, who reacts to nothing the way you expect them to, who leaves every conversation and takes something with them that you cannot name, a feeling that you just met someone you should not underestimate. You have met someone like that before, maybe once, maybe twice in your entire life. And I want to ask you something honestly. Are you that person to anyone else? Or are you someone people have completely figured out in 10 minutes? Here is what being easy to read actually costs you. And the cost is higher than most people realize. When people can predict you, they can control you. When they know exactly what upsets you, they know exactly how to upset you. When they know what you want, they know exactly what to dangle in front of you to get what they want from you. When they can read your mood from across the room, they know when you are weak, when you are desperate, and when you will say yes to something you should say no to. Being an open book sounds like a virtue. Transparency, authenticity, no games, nothing to hide. But there is a difference between being genuine and being readable. Genuine means your actions are consistent with your values. Readable means anyone with 10 minutes and moderate intelligence can map your entire interior life and use it against you. One is strength. The other is vulnerability dressed up as honesty. Sun Tzu understood this completely. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of your opponent's fate. He was not talking about war. He was talking about every room you will ever walk into. Nobody weaponized this more deliberately than Julius Caesar. In a city like ancient Rome, where every senator, every general, and every nobleman wore their ambitions on their face, Caesar was different. He moved through Roman politics the way a shadow moves through a room, present everywhere, defined nowhere. His enemies spent years trying to predict him. They watched his face during Senate debates, looking for a flicker of emotion that would reveal his next move. They sent informants to his dinners. They analyzed every word he spoke in public, searching for the meaning underneath the meaning. They watched who he looked at, who he ignored, how long he held a man's gaze before looking away. They almost never found what they were looking for. Caesar had mastered something that most people never even attempt. He had separated his inner world completely from his outer presentation. What he felt and what he showed were two entirely different things, not because he was dishonest, but because he understood something about power that his enemies did not. The moment you let people see inside you, they stop respecting you and start calculating you. When Caesar finally moved against Pompey and crossed the Rubicon with his army, the entire Roman Senate was blindsided. Not because there were no signs, but because Caesar had spent years making his signs unreadable. The most powerful politicians in the ancient world, men who had dedicated their careers to reading people, never saw it coming. He did not win Rome with armies alone. He won it with silence. Now here is what this actually means for your life, and this is the part most people get completely wrong when they try to apply it. Being unreadable is not about being cold. It is not about being secretive or playing games or pretending you have no emotions. It is not about becoming distant from the people who matter to you or building walls that keep everyone out equally. It is about this one simple principle that Caesar understood and his enemies never did. Your reactions are currency, and most people are spending theirs the moment they earn them. Every time you visibly react to something, someone says you are handing them information about where your edges are. Every time you explain yourself without being asked, you are drawing a map to your insecurities. Every time you get loud about what you want, you are telling everyone in the room exactly how to make you compromise. Every time you fill silence with nervous words, you are showing people that their discomfort with quiet makes you more uncomfortable than it makes them. The person who people respect and fear without fully understanding why is almost always the person who has learned to pause between feeling something and showing it, not to suppress it, not to pretend it is not there, to choose it deliberately. There is a difference between someone who cannot control their reactions and someone who decides which reactions to share. The first one is a person being lived by their emotions. The second one is a person living with them. That pause, that fraction of a second between feeling and expressing, is where personal power actually lives. Most people never find it because they have never been taught to look for it. They move from feeling directly to expression without a single moment of choice in between. And they wonder why people walk over them, why conversations never go the way they intended, why they always seem to end up on the defensive. The answer is always the same. They handed their power away before the conversation even started. The quiet person in the corner who says little and observes everything is not passive, they are collecting. And when they finally do speak, people listen. Not because of the words, because of the weight behind them, weight that was built in silence. Think about the people in your life who command the most respect without demanding it, without performing it, without announcing it. They are almost never the loudest voice in the room. They are the still one, the measured one, the one you cannot quite figure out. And that inability to figure them out is not frustrating. It is magnetic. This is Stoic Clarity, and every video on this channel exists to show you the things about power, psychology, and human behavior that most people learn too late or never at all. The next video goes even deeper into the invisible dynamics that determine who leads and who follows in every room, every relationship, and every situation. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Here is what Caesar knew that the entire Roman Senate did not. Mystery is not the absence of substance. It is the presence of discipline, and the most powerful version of you is not the one people have figured out. It is the one they are still trying to